4 San Antonio at 10. We're here for you.
Well, the month of May was really nice, but the summer heat didn't stay gone for long. See how a number of people around San Antonio are now dealing with dangerous heat and humidity that's only going to get worse. Plus, the search is on for whoever opened fire at a group of people in a town northeast of Houston tonight. Now one person's dead and a handful of others, including a teenage boy, are in the hospital. And we're less than 2 days away from former President Trump being arraigned on numerous federal charges. What's the case outlook look like? Experts weigh in coming up.
I do primarily the water safety, making sure people have life jackets and people are being safe about it.
Summer's heating up and Texas Parks and Wildlife game wardens are out and about making sure you're properly prepared and enjoying yourselves safely. News 4 San Antonio's Chelsea Torres caught a ride with the game wardens on Canyon Lake. Tonight she shows us the latest safety trends that are being seen so far.
The popular man-made Canyon Lake has seen visitors from all around the San Antonio area in the past couple of years.
Quite a bit from Medina, because Medina's down.
In large part to lower water levels in nearby lakes and rivers, Texas Game Warden James Adcock says he's seen an influx in visitors, many of them taken to watercrafts.
The last 2 years, the number of jet skis has, I don't know, like tripled, quadrupled the number of jet skis.
Adcock believes it's the rise of jet ski rentals, but with more people on the water, there are more violations. Game wardens say top violations come from no boater's education.
Do you ever take boater's education?
No.
Okay.
Another top violation, Texas Parks and Wildlife say everyone should have a life jacket. Children under 13 must be wearing one at all times.
Unfortunately, Canyon Lake last year was one of the deadliest lakes in Texas.
Water safety also includes drinking while boating.
All the same laws that apply out on the roadways, out in a public place, also apply out here on the water.
Game wardens say this year underage drinking has been on the rise in the Canyon Lake area. They've seen several minors drinking while boating or on jet skis. In Bexar County, if you are caught without a life jacket, you can get a fine of up to $155. And the violation for not having your boater's education is a fine of $130. Chelsea Torres, News 4 San Antonio.
Thanks, Chelsea. If you can't make it to a lake, maybe you can find a pool to cool off in. There are 25 public pools across the San Antonio area, open all summer long. Today, we spoke to a number of people who say the convenience of having a city pool nearby is life-saving because of how hot it actually is. A handful of pools are already open, but only for the weekends. Regular pool season opens next weekend. Some are even saying with it being so hot outside already, even cooling off in the cool pool water isn't enough.
It's easy, it's convenient, you know, and you can spend as much time as you want. You know, it's just perfect.
We reached out to you on social media about what you'd like to see the city do to help you stay cool in the dog days of summer. The most common answers from y'all were more shading and more splash pads. The city and county told us they're currently working on enhancements to several parks to add in shading to playgrounds and trails. 2 city parks will actually receive new shading this year. For the latest information, you can go to our website, news4sa.com. Let's bring in News 4 meteorologist Joe DiCarlo. Joe, I know it's June, I know it's Texas, but man, I don't know if I was ready for hundreds this early on in the summer. Is there any relief in sight, my man?
No, there is not. Unfortunately, we're just going to get hotter from here today. We had the hottest temperature so far of the year in San Antonio. To take a live look downtown from our Cut-Right Landscaping weather camera. 98 degrees, the official high temperature, record 104, so we didn't quite hit the record heat, but that is coming later on in the work week. We're still sitting at 87 degrees right now in San Antonio. 87 Pleasanton, still hanging out of those low to mid 90s down to the southwest. 93 Cotulla, 93 still in Del Rio. We're going to heat things up even more the next few days and talk record heat by the end of the week. Full forecast in a few minutes.
Thanks, Joe. Making headlines now. This is new footage just coming into our newsroom of a shooting in Crosby, Texas, which is in Harris County. The shooting left 1 person dead and 4 others in the hospital. Harris County deputies were called out for a shooting at 2 different scenes around 4 this afternoon. Right now, it's unclear who's responsible for the shootings or what the motive was, and so far, there has been no arrests. This right here is the newest footage out of Philadelphia, where I-95 remains shut down in both directions after a vehicle fire caused part of the roadway to collapse. So far, emergency crews don't know exactly what caused the crash, which led to the fire, but they say reconstruction efforts, they will take a while. Tomorrow, the governor of Pennsylvania plans to issue a disaster declaration, allowing the state to immediately draw federal funds to fix the issue. Russian media say Moscow police have arrested an American man. His name is Michael Travis Leak, and he's suspected of trafficking drugs to children, which carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Authorities say they'll keep Leak detained for 2 months until his trial. Leak is a musician who's been living in Russia for the past decade. The State Department says they're aware of the situation and they're working to provide assistance. New details are emerging about the death of the Unabomber. According to people familiar with the matter, Ted Kaczynski is being investigated as a suicide. The 81-year-old was suffering from late-stage cancer and was found in his North Carolina prison cell early Saturday morning. He was serving a life sentence for a 17-year bombing spree that killed 3 people and injured dozens more. His death adds to mounting pressure on the federal prison system, which has seen increased scrutiny over inmate suicides following the death of Jeffrey Epstein. We're learning more details when it comes to the scheduled surrender of former President Trump, who's facing 37 federal charges. The latest details on the groundbreaking story immediately right after the break. And a little later, the issues some recent college graduates are having when it comes to finding a good job.
And I'm Don Harris. Coming up tonight on Sports Sunday, only News 4 has the Wemby Watch, the very latest on the future Spur as draft night approaches. An incredible sports moment at the Canadian Open. It's goosebump stuff you don't want to miss. Plus, the Cowboys, have they found the magic pill to fix their offense? And a look at perhaps the greatest sports achievement and record of all time. Sports Sunday. It's worth staying up late for. Straight ahead.
You're watching News 4 San Antonio.